Welcome, you amazing X-Wing people. This is Andy C here, Porg Knight. I have Andy V, the Porg King, with me. Say hello, Andy.
Hey, guys.
I have Jarrad, the Porg Knight, with us. Jarrad, say hello.
Hey, guys.
And that's all we have with us today. I'm just kidding. We've got an honorary Porg of Tim Salinger. Say g'day, Tim. True Porg style.
Yeah.
Now, as we set up this game, there's a couple of little things that might have just happened. I had some pretty brutal games, so my brain was in the meltdown, and the dice may not have been rolled in the dice tray, and the pilot cards may not have been in front of either player. So apologies in advance about that. But yeah, here we go into the game. So it's myself flying Kylo Ren with Supernatural, Quick Draw with Special Forces Gunner and Midnight. And then we've got Gary, who has a Redline, Death Rain, and Soontir. Redline has Trajectory Simulator, Proton Torpedoes, Seismic Charges, Proton Bombs, and ablative plating. That's a tricky word, that one.
Ablative, Andy.
Ablative,
Jesus.
that'll do. There we go. Boom. That's why we brought you, Tim. Then we've got Death Rain with Trajectory Simulator, Proton Torpedoes, Proton Bombs, Seismic Charges, ablative plating, and then Soontir fell with an outmaneuver. I came in at 193. I took off every upgrade that I could in my list to try and get that bid, and I still was outbid by a point, with Gary coming in at 192. Very, very upsetting, that one, but got there in the end. So, yeah, over to you guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game for both of you. I guess looking at Gary's list, his probably priority is to get rid of Kylo, being almost 100 points.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, 2 Punishers of Proton Torps is just, it's insane. And then having Fell, if you can fly Fell, and basically just win the whole game with Fell by himself. So it's just dumb.
Definitely.
Just looking at like this setup, I don't want to say it badly to Andy, but he really probably should have stayed away from all these rocks, because looking at those seismic charges, and it's so grouped up, he really probably should have stayed out of them, and then
Yeah, that's fair.
get the Punishers out of there, and then he can try to hurt them that way.
I think the rocks would definitely set up in Gary's favour.
I rate myself flying through rocks, so I don't mind flying in rocks, but the seismic charges definitely made it painful, and it was something that was looming around the whole game. Is where are these seismics going to go? Where are they going to be? What rocks are they going on? They probably should have been a little bit more spread out, but I like having tight rocks, especially with bigger ships, so that I can actually maneuver through the rocks and try and get them to bump and land on them. So that's where the thought process was on that.
Yeah, I'm a bit 50-50 on it, because just having the rocks there, like, Gary can choose to get rid of them. But if he doesn't, Andy can use the rocks for cover and obstruction, and just provides a little bit more defense to the list. So, yeah.
It definitely makes you question if he is going to drop one or not. But I guess knowing Gary being a fairly aggressive player, I think you'd be pretty certain that he will drop the bombs.
Yeah, and Gary's quite a good technical thinking player as well. So, you know, you've always got to watch what sort of Gary's doing, because he's always got a bit of a plan in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gary's been playing this list for a while, so he's pretty down with how it all works and what he needs to do.
And I think this was the third time I've flown this list, so it was a bit of a trial trial run, but I really enjoy flying this list. I think it's got a lot of legs. Maybe a little bit of tweaking. It's very, very raw. A lot of like all the pilots being as blank as they could be, or to my liking anyway. So yeah, it's a work in progress though. So I like flying it.
And well, Gary's got a lot of reps of this list, and he knows it very well. So you're probably on a bit of a back foot from the start.
Yeah. Like thinking about it now, even in the rock placements as well, having them all so close together, there's a lot of options for the seismic charges to be able to drop them and then just choose a rock and where it's going to go. It should have probably been a thought process of mine to actually go back and go, you know what, let's try and spread them out a bit and sort of deny that option from him.
I've got a bit of a wacky thing when I'm thinking about possibly where Andy could go. I'm thinking possibly just a balls to the walls maneuver, supernatural barrel roll right, and then a straight forward 4 to block red line, just so one proton can't be shot and whatnot, and then you just bum rush with midnight and quick draw. So you can get out of the asteroid field as quickly as possible and then turn around and whatnot. But
I definitely love Supernatural on Kylo. I love flying Supernatural Kylo. I'm just going to put that out there. It's amazing. It's so much fun. Everybody should do it. If you haven't done it, go and get yourself a TIE silencer and fly Supernatural Kylo. But we just missed out on shots this turn. I did a barrel roll backwards behind one of the asteroids because I thought I was going to be really close depending on where Gary ended up. And I just got out. I reckon I was about a centimetre out of range from copping a nice little proton torpedo there from Gary. So that was a good barrel roll from me.
Yeah, I think that was lucky. I think that saved you.
I kind of saw it coming. If he went faster, he would have been in. But yeah, it was a bit of a tricky one, that one.
So I'm guessing Gary's dropping a seismic here.
Yeah.
And then using
that was actually a proton that he dropped there, I believe.
Yeah, dropping the proton for death rains.
Yeah, so that's death rain on the back there, and then red line sitting in the middle.
So they can do the action now.
Yeah.
Just get the action economy. Yep.
Expensive action economy, though.
Yeah.
That is true. But then I guess if he's thinking he's going to be able to get 2 proton torps off this round, it's probably worth it.
Very true. Very true. This here was a seismic that Gary dropped, and this is a perfect example about what I was talking about before. Gary's placed it within 2 rocks, so then he will basically get the option to choose where that's going to go.
Yeah, so very, very hard for you to pick a place to go and not get hit.
Yeah. Punishers are a tough ship to fly against.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of the ships would probably see a points increase if they decide to change extended.
Only 8 days to go before we find out.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
That almost came out as 8 gays, but I thought that'd be a little bit confronting.
Probably.
I'm still liking trying to bum rush with Kylo to the right to get into range 1 of Death Rain and Red Line. Maybe copper damage. Definitely copper damage from the rock, and then get behind them. because Death Rain is not in a great position for next turn. Won't be able to turn around as well, but could do a stop and whatnot.
I guess as well, though, Suntir is probably going to turn in.
Yeah,
Possibly.
definitely.
So even though it's not a Proton, it's still Kylo taking 9 dice unless he forces a bump on one of them.
Yeah, I would probably.
So it's tough. And then plus the damage already, the automatic damage. Yeah, if he doesn't cause a bump on one of them, that would be not a good time for Kylo.
Yeah, that would be pretty tough.
It's just a generally rough exchange for the start.
Yeah.
I decided to do a 3-banker round. And as I moved in, it put me right in the arc of Death Rain. And without actually sort of getting a measuring stick out, I was a little bit fearful that it was at range 2. And I was like, I do not want to be taking a proton torpedo on Kylo within the first round. So moving into this, I had an option of boosting straight because I thought, well, I can try and hit Suntir here, depending on how fast Suntir was coming in. And I thought if I go 1 straight, it looks like I may still be in arc of Death Rain, and then I'd definitely be taking a proton torpedo. So I decided to focus and then sort of link into a boost action to the right.
I'll be very close getting out of. You should definitely get it.
Yeah. I thought I don't want to be taking shots on Kylo this round. Let's try and keep him safe.
Oh, Gary's cheating again.
Now, I'm just actually thinking about something as well. I think we're about to see me cheat on stream.
Nice.
You weren't supposed to say that.
I know, right? I was supposed to just let you guys look at it and find out.
Well, you didn't put a stress out.
I didn't put a stress out.
That's okay. Full on took it away. Oh wait, that's not even how it works.
Nah.
Kylo Ren is full on.
But you're coming in straight with your FO now. I don't know if it's a bit too, I don't know, trying to bait them a bit as well, though. If you're trying to bait the Punishers and then lock them up a little bit.
Yeah. Kind of left Midnight in a really average position off of the first go. And I brought in Quick Draw to sit next to that asteroid, hoping that the seismic would land on that asteroid, take a shield, get a double shot get the shot before we even start. And then, see sort of what happens from there. So then predominantly I'd had 3 shots on Quick Draw before one of his ships even get to fire.
Yeah. Now Gary has the interesting decision of, does he get the 2 damage on the FOs, but then cop a retaliatory strike from Quick Draw, or does he go for the cheeky 1 damage at Kylo?
Well, if he's got Suntir coming in, though, if he could do, he can put in the damage from the rock into Quick Draw and then shoot with Suntir anyway, and then you've got like multiple attacks or damage going in to quick draw in that one round.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that's kind of what you want to do anyway. But yeah, and especially if Cynthia can then boost in, I'm guessing, and then be outside of quick draw's arc. And then
Gary.
so that outmaneuver will trigger. And then yeah, it's a 1 agility.
It's all right. I then knocked his ship. This is just a comedy of errors.
We might as well start again.
Just rearranging the board to however we like. Just that's me and Gary. We're good mates. We just do that,
Gary's just like, oh yeah, this rock was over this way a little bit more. Trying to get all three of you in.
Oh yeah, so he's gone that one. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that was probably the better move.
So he used his ablative plating one of either there.
Yeah.
Which is actually quite strong on those punishers as well.
That's not in hyperspace though, is it?
I don't think so.
I'm kind of glad for that because I think his 2 charges is a bit too much. I kind of liked how it worked in 1.0 with the dice roll and the
yeah.
I guess the possibility of it turning off like the first time you take a bomb.
But I've seen it go on for all game pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
Not breaking. And then this way, at least, it is a bit of a decision that you have to make as well.
Hit focus from old Midnight into a blank. Takes a shield on Deathrain.
Excellent.
And yeah, see, now would have been probably the better time to drop shields off quick draw anyway.
Yeah.
Range 3.
Focus, hit, and blank.
And you had no mods.
Into 1 of 8. Oh, no, actually 1 shield went down on there, so he must have rolled a focus. And I think he kept his focus.
Yeah, I know what I would have done if both of the punishers had advanced sensors instead. Instead of going for a bomb, just would have gotten rid of the debris and then stopped with red line 4K with Death Rain, ready for a 2-pronged missile assault. But yeah, I don't know. I've never used trajectory simulator, so I'm a bit of a noob in that regard. So
I think you took a bit more just then onto Death Rain from the quick draw shot.
Yeah, I think I ended up taking. I think it was 2 shields off in the first round. I think it was only 2. Because I think that last shot he may have evaded. So that return shot was basically nothing happened. So,
well, yeah, the shot from the Punisher was like that's a hit. 2 hits from Redline.
Double evades.
Yep.
I took the old Midnight. No, actually, I think that was on quick draw. I think he did go on quick draw on that one.
I think Trajectory Simulator just gives you a massive area of denial. So, while Advanced Sensors is good in some instances when you're loading it out with all the bombs, I think Trajectory is needed because you just, there's so many places you can't go with that.
yeah. I guess using like the psychology of it is like you have proton torps in a threat range of range 2 to 3, and then the trajectory simulator is basically 6 full, and what to sort of counter both those upgrades, then you can just bum rush into range 1.
Are you guys ready for the ultimate stream cheat of the century?
Probably a Talon roll.
No.
Would
Guys.
actually, a Talon roll would have been really good there But yeah, so if you're stressed, you can't do.
I don't see any stress tokens on me.
The porg took them.
Yeah. As I said, the last 2 games I played before this absolutely mentally busted my head.
That's no excuse, Andy. Like,
I even said to Andy, he's like, "Hey man, I'm going to put you on stream next." I'm like, "Do not do that."
So I did it.
Yeah, so he did it. Hey, he's the king, you know. You can't complain with the king.
Well, here I was about to say with the
you need to pledge fealty to your king.
yeah, he wouldn't want to put out bombs because he would probably hit them anyway. Like he'll hit himself.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you can see he hasn't put any out. And I don't know if Midnight was going to do like a hard one, I probably would have looked at. And then, but these Punishers getting right up in there. This is going to be, a big sort of traffic jam.
So he's probably going for the bump on quick draw. I'm guessing the boost was for that.
Yeah, it looks like Gary's saving the Proton Torps for a mid to late game upgrade.
And this isn't a barrel roll, by the way. This is a 1 to the left. Because obviously I'm stressed. I can't barrel roll. That would just be silly.
So you double cheated.
Double cheated. No, I didn't do a talent roll. It's the 3 hard.
Oh. See, I would have thought you would have done a 1.
Yeah, the plan with Kylo was to try and come around the back and try and get behind them, and sort of stay as clear as I could of those bombs. I was very fearful of bombs when placing my maneuver, and that's where I was like, oh, well, I can just barrel roll to the left, and that should get me out of that range of that bomb, whereas I thought that if I didn't do the barrel roll, then I'd probably be like right up into a proton bomb.
Yep.
It was actually a good move with Death Rain here, sort of bringing him in so close and then sort of slowly bringing around Redline. A tad unexpected, but should have actually expected it.
Yeah. So now you do probably the 1 straight. Which you
No, I do the 1 straight bump.
Yeah. And then that allows, to make sure that you can get that torp off onto you.
Yeah, that was a silly move there.
And I'm guessing Suntir just did a 1 bank or something to get.
Well, he doesn't have the 1 bank, but
so would that be 2 bank? Would be the lowest?
Yeah, it would be a 2 bank bump.
Yeah, he'd bump if he went 2 bank, I reckon.
Unless he just goes conservative and just goes forward.
Hey, at least I put a stress token down this time. Look at me go.
I'm so proud of you, man.
I know, you know, just playing by the rules.
Occasionally. It's okay, you used all those brownie points just to cheat once. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, so he's gone quick to get out.
Yeah.
And come back around.
I would have loved it if Quick Draw had a... Oh, never mind.
Yeah, there was a bump there.
The arc in the back. I was like, I'm going to shoot you forward and back. Here we go.
That was a very, very good placement by Death Rain there.
Yep.
You forget how quick those things can move with that boost as well. Just throws you out.
Yeah.
Gary's still deciding what to do.
Yeah. So if he's going to come in close to that rock then, so probably the 2 hard for next turn. go around. Yeah, it is a bit tricky though if he were to do that because Kylo's probably going to do the same.
Although this looks like it's in, I can't remember. I don't think that we had. So that looks like a double hit and a focus. Oh no,
That was some aggressive rolling there. That was good.
it was one hit into and two focus into two focus.
Oh.
So much fun.
So was that one damage on Death Rain, I think?
Red line.
Red line.
Red line that was. Yeah, so I don't think Kylo had a shot here.
Yeah.
So although it looks like it in this video, I think Gary was, the way he was looking, thought it was in, but the way I could see it from the back line, Gary kind of had it off of the actual center or the actual line, and then once I sort of straightened it up, it was out by about a couple of mils. So
What
bit
a
of a
sport,
shame.
Andy. Like, well done.
Look, I just try and play by the rules.
And then
That's
Oh.
quick draw dead.
Wow.
That was a sad time. Yeah, one proton torpedo.
So he,
Get the fire back.
Yeah, I think it was a hit crit focus into return shot. So I think he took a couple of damage there.
yep, so probably shields down on red line, but
Probably.
And that's game. Andy wins. Well done.
Yep, and done. We can stop now.
Sweet.
Gary just throwing you to move your shit.
It was funny. He's like, okay, you can get rid of quick draw now. I'm like, all right, mate. All right, settle down. It's all right. Hang on.
He's probably
I think
still
he just-
salty that you didn't put that stress token on.
Yeah, that's it.
I was like, should I tell him? Not sure. I want to hurt Andy's feelings.
Well, it wasn't until we were watching a little bit of the playthrough before, and when I started talking about my maneuvers and I knew what I was about to do, I knew I was going to do a barrel roll. I'm like, hang on a second, I just linked into that focus, so I don't have a stress token.
That's okay. We'll just treat the barrel as purple. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
it's one of
it's
those
foiled,
new,
yeah.
new
just
separatist moves.
Refill all your force charges for free.
Yeah, and I get 2 extra force, obviously.
That's right. And then you just get to fire the Death Star from the playmat onto red line.
that would be
Here,
nice.
looking at your maneuvers that you would want to be doing. So red line and Death Rain. I don't know if they even just drop bombs and then either do the K turns or
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
and then that way you've just then turned your guns around, you get ready, and then Kylo's in a bit of a tricky spot because that's red line in front of him, and so he'd have to do the 2 bank to clear that stress, and then to try to sort of stay in it, or you do the 5 straight and try to get out. But if Sunti's going to do probably a 2 hard left and to come in around those bombs, like around that rock, try to stay out of the range of those bombs, and then even midnight maybe you hope that he's going to do the Ks, and so you go like 3 bank.
So at this point here, it was interesting that he didn't drop a bomb. He didn't drop the proton bomb. He dropped the size bomb with Death Rain. I believe he did drop a proton with, or maybe it was 2 protons. I'm just going to be quiet now. Let you guys watch it from here. We'll work it out.
And yeah, with Death Rain, he could have dropped the bomb, got the lock on midnight, and then done the K turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I'm surprised he didn't get the to midnight, but maybe he was hoping Kylo was going to turn into both bombs.
Okay.
because he's got the lock on Kylo currently.
Yeah. Oh, okay then.
Yeah, Jarrad, you made a really good point there because the center debris field proposes a threat for removal. So that sort of disallows Soontir turning in. You could move just straight forward with Soontir and then make Andy chase Fell. But you could also turn to the right and then just double back, allowing Andy to be forced to go onto the top left-hand corner and whatnot and try again.
Yep.
That's probably what I'll do with Fell, is just double back because yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, being where those bombs are.
It was difficult getting away from a lot of those bombs.
Oh, definitely.
Because that could still just be in.
Nah, that was. I mean, it could still be in. No, so that was actually out, that one.
It definitely would be a seismic, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I think it might have been a proton now that I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty sure it is a proton because I remember he ran out of protons on Death Rain at one point and he tried to drop a proton. He's like, oh, I don't have any left. So I believe at this point he's now dropped both protons with Death Rain and he's got one left with Redline. It was probably the worst K-turn in history there by Midnight.
I wasn't going to comment on it.
And I don't know why Gary went out instead of in here. I think maybe he thought that Kylo was coming in a little bit stronger.
No, I think he was just, as Tim was saying, like get away from those bombs and then come back around and then, yeah.
I think he actually said I should have come in here because that's what I was thinking of, coming into this point and then boosting in, and I still would have had arcs, so.
But also in saying that, like Soontir, it's so much better to be more defensive, cagey with him. Like you do not want to put him in spots where he's going to get shot, really.
And see now, like Fell, he could turn in where Kylo turns in, and Kylo's most likely going to win that engagement.
Yeah.
And then Fell's just going to die. But then Kylo has to kill basically both Punishers by himself, which I'll have to buy you a drink, Andy, if you have that.
What's that?
I'll have to buy you a drink if Kylo does kill all three ships by himself.
Yeah, I don't know if you took damage then.
I don't think so. I think I rolled natties on that.
So
Okay.
one hit. And
then one evade there.
Yep.
Back to dials.
Yeah, see, now you're in a bit of a tricky spot with Midnight here. The two Punishers can probably... so if that one is... Redline is the one closer to you, and he's probably still got a proton, so he could chuck one out, seismic one out, and then pretty much bump into you, and then...
I'd probably turn in with Midnight, personally, just to bump.
Yeah.
That gives more time for Kylo to get rid of Fell.
Yeah, it's just a bit tricky of where he'll actually end up.
I'd probably still stay stressed and, I don't know.
Well, if he does like the too hard turn in,
Yeah.
that will clear his stress. Cool. No, let's see what you've gone in through the rocks, trying to catch Soontir. So Soontir is going to be really hard for you to catch as well, though. So it's pretty much nearly even.
Yeah, quick trip. Quick ship, sorry.
Yeah, if you just do nothing and lock from that, trying to keep your arc as big as possible. No, actually, he's probably too far out.
Yeah, I was thinking before maybe.
Or if you boost, do the left
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah, boost left, definitely.
Maybe a 1 turn and a boost would have been slightly better. Because you would have been back.
No, but he was stressed.
Yeah, that's true.
That's actually quite a nice position.
Yeah.
For Kylo. And then he can come back and not chase Fell anymore because that's just playing into Gary's hands. And go pursue either Redline or Death Rain. Yeah, this game has actually blown my mind quite a bit because there hasn't been like a huge amount of damage in the early game whatsoever.
I was in a little bit of damage control early, trying to get rid of those bombs, not get rid of them, but dodge them. So I think at this point I've taken 1 out of the 4 that have been dropped. And I think Gary actually considered getting this bomb in from here, but then decided not to.
Yeah.
But at this point, I was in damage control very heavily, and I knew that I was in trouble. So it was like, how can I get away from these things to try and survive for now? And you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head. My idea was to run with Midnight and then chase Soontir with Kylo.
What's Soontir going to do here?
I think if he boosts to the left, he's still going to be an arc.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just by a little bit.
Oh yeah, good one.
He did very well at arc dodging that one.
Wouldn't you hate it if he was like just in the arc and like Gary should have like gone to the center
Moved
of
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that looks like it might just be out. Well, definitely out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely out.
We'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
But it also does really well of like blocking you for next turn. See, a too hard won't get you. Yeah, it'll block you up. So it's pretty much for next turn then Kylo nearly even wants to go right.
So this move with the Mega Leader, double arc dodged both Death Rain and Redline.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that move, but that was actually really good.
Yeah, but see, unfortunately, still not in a very good position. And yeah, damage control. Just like now, Kylo had no shot. Omega had no shot.
With Midnight?
Because a 1 bank with both of them, both the Punishers probably will get Midnight in arc.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could get out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's in a bit of a tough spot because if you do the sloop, yeah, if the 1 banks, he'll still get you an arc. And he'll still be like so much pressure on you then. And you're just kind of playing that you're the one that's running. Yeah. So he can do
That was a beautiful move.
just to move that arc around a bit and sit.
He ended up straight, bang on straight. So he pretty much just covered the whole board. So yeah, that was a really, really nice one there.
And that's really what you want to do, because he already had that lock waiting there. So it doesn't really matter what he does with them. It makes it hard.
I mean, there, if he even wanted to get greedy, he could have just dropped a seismic to
he could
get the focus
back. Yeah. I don't know what you've done there. Oh, you wanted to see.
Did you think that was going to fit?
It looked close.
Yeah.
A bit hard to see where the base actually is for Cynthia from here. But no,
it was very dangerous. If it didn't fit, then Redline could have easily just pursued after Kylo.
Yep.
Gotten in a boost, target lock, blow him away with a proton torque or something like that, potentially. I do like this move now, just to consolidate with Kylo going after one of the Punishers.
Because I couldn't I couldn't see if it was going to make two left. I thought my choices are here. If I'm going to bump, then that's going to throw Kylo out for this turn. So at least I wanted to make Kylo slightly useful for this round. So I brought him in to actually come and try and give some backup to Omega, because Omega was in Midnight, because Midnight was in so much trouble.
And so now here, it's either you lock Death Rain or you focus. If you lock Death Rain, then he can't mod. He can't mod his torp shot that he's going to do to you.
Mm.
And you can't convert a hit to a crit, can you?
No, they cannot be changed at all now.
Yeah.
I think he might have in this, actually.
Yeah, so it's not about... And it's really interesting now that you can't change them at all. Juke isn't the same.
That's right. It's the action order.
Yeah. So the wording is now, it's just they cannot be changed at all. But, do you have that shot?
Or just in?
Yep.
Definitely do.
That's good. Hopefully you can get some bit of damage through. Oh, yep.
So you spent
3 hits.
Yep.
Down to 5 hull.
I think we've been tracking this right, but... And that's pretty much what you need to be able to do, is just get a bit through. So he's spending the lock.
Yeah.
Chase. Yeah. And
one evade.
Got one evade, yeah. So now then, it probably would have been better for Redline just to keep that lock. Oh, yeah, so he's changed.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have.
Still, that's pretty good for you. One hit.
Yeah.
Proton torque.
So I'll probably, for this coming turn, I'd probably try and get rid of Death Rain next turn. Just do a simple 1 turn to the right with Midnight, and then pursue with Kylo.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember what happened after this.
Should be able to close enough to finish him off.
Well, hopefully, if Death Rain could run a bit though, and so where that debris sitting for Kylo, so he's sort of got to go he's got to go around it a bit, because I think a 2-bank
should fit that. It'll be really close though, but it in this sort of angle, it is very deceptive. So,
But if you could do a 2-bank, then you're fine, and you just barrel roll either way. Because otherwise you have to do the 2 hard or the 2 straight to then work out which way around. But yeah, as he's doing, he's trying to run away a bit with Death Rain, who's just taken a bit of damage.
he's also brought him in there to block Midnight as well.
Yep.
Which I think he did extremely well, positioning Death Rain to actually get into the mix and use him as a utility blocker. Plus, also, he's like, well, you're going to get close to me, and I'm going to have bombs that are going to be hitting you pretty hard. So, very, very, very good ship. Very, very good pilot too.
In that situation, you probably could have locked instead of doing the focus action, because you had two tokens sitting there. So you could have locked and then boosted in, just for the best amount of mods on your dice, because you're probably not going to take a return shot with Kylo. So a focus won't, for your defense, you don't need it. Or, yeah. And and if Gary hadn't spent that lock trying to mod his primary shot, now he would have had that lock for that torp shot. Now. Because now it's only going to be a 2-die primary, no mods against a but Soontir coming in can be a bit scary. Oh, so he's just failed the barrel roll.
Yeah, I think he just nudged the rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
And see, this is what I mean, even though there would have been 2 more obstacles, one more obstacle in the game, basically where Midnight is, would have been totally different if Gary had put advanced sensors on both Punishers.
Oh, so Midnight's taking a crit.
Yeah. I believe that was... No, can't remember. Sorry, guys.
Is that 4 hits naturally?
I think one of them was a crit.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good from Kylo.
Yeah, they were doing very average before that. I was rolling a lot of focus, a lot of blanks, and not having the modifiers to be able to get my dice moving.
So you got 1. Hopefully you can.
Oh,
nothing.
No.
That's Midnight gone.
Yeah, so that's Midnight gone. I think one of those was a direct hit in there.
Okay, so that was what your crit probably was.
Yeah. There's me trying to cheat again, just, taking away my stress token at the end of the end phase, just try and sneak it out.
Well, you fall on, man. You just pass it over to Redline.
Yeah.
The Death Rain's very.
No, I think Forlom's new ability is that you can just do it beyond range 3, just to any ship you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now here with Death Rain for Gary, it's probably a stop just to block you up. And then if you're going to go, the bank around or if you're going to try to do, or if you bank right, he's then behind you, and he just wants to keep Death Rain alive now. But if Death Rain shoots with proton bombs, but it depends if he's got any plating left.
The other thing is, dropping a bomb and getting a lock and doing the 4K again.
Yep.
Oh
yeah, that's true.
And then going slow with red line and getting a lock and everything as well. So.
Yep.
So I think Death Rain has used both protons, or is it one at this stage of the game?
Yep, it looks like he used both, but he'd still have a seismic that he could just...
Proton torpedo, sorry.
Okay then.
Because he definitely used one on Omega Leader, where he only rolled one.
Yeah.
See, the other thing here, which I think is a good move by Gary, is he's blocked both positions for Kylo. He's like, you can't go left and you can't go right. Where are you going to go? Actually, is that a proton bomb? I think it is.
I think that was from Redline.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is the position where he wanted to drop a proton but couldn't. I was predicting the stop, and I wanted to try and get around to then boost out to try and have a shot on Redline.
Yep.
And he caught me off guard with the one forward. So, again, just real quality flying.
Oh, this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hope the force is with you, Andy. Force charges.
3v1, Carlo's got this easy.
Jedi Master Porganator.
Yeah, so now I wonder if the barrel roll will be enough trying to get Cynthia out of Kylo's arc there.
Yeah, I think it should be able to trigger his own ability and outmaneuver as well.
Yeah. Oh,
don't know about the bat. Like, I think that would be very close.
So even
hard to tell.
Go the evade and then barrel over, hope that you get bullseye.
Or possibly still an arc. I don't know.
He's definitely got me in bullseye there. I think he actually took a focus that round as well.
Yep, so he's hit.
And Death Rain was just out of range as well.
Yeah, he will be.
It was about probably 2 millimeters in it. Unfortunately, I was like, oh no. So there's Death Rain still alive.
Death Rain would have just used the blade of plating, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Because he would have the one charge left.
Right, so you must still have him.
2 focus and a blank. So from the 2 hits on Kylo.
Yep.
Oh, that's a tough one. Because you could keep it and do serious damage onto Suntir if you still have him in arc.
No, I think you just spend both.
Very conservative.
Yeah. Oh no, you've taken one and then done.
Well, that's interesting.
I don't know if that's worth it, doing the show the dark side.
Especially at this point in the game.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and
if
that
this is like first round, or one of the first couple of rounds, I think that may be worth it, but at this point I think the Force is probably better to be kept for a modification.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so funny if you could trigger Kylo from just a bomb damage, and it was like, yeah, I'm going to show you the dark side, you bastard. Hit me with a bomb.
I'm guessing you probably gave him Panic Pilot.
Yeah, and look, I was trying to aim for the crit at this point because I'm like, well, if I can get that panicked pilot off, I may be able to keep Soontir under check for the next couple of rounds, and then try and take out Death Rain, or even come back around for Redline. So I thought my idea was to, really try and hunt down or take out Soontir for the next couple of rounds to be able to, see what we can do. So,
yeah, in that situation, it looked like you were probably going to take a lot of damage that round. So, yeah, I would have thought the modification would have been a smarter move, but it makes sense for future planning to try to triple stress Soontir as well.
I think the big win for Gary there was moving Death Rain into block quick draw very early, and then just getting full shots and taking out quick draw in that round. So my dice were very, very standard. A lot of blanks, a lot of focus within those first rounds when I didn't have the modifiers to back them up. But yeah, that Death Rain bump right at the start and killing quick draw was probably what really sort of solidified that game and made me chase my tail from there. And you could see even the way I was flying, I was chasing my tail for probably about 3 rounds, just trying to survive, really.
Yeah, I think you may have been too aggressive with Kylo in the first couple of rounds. My thought was to go sort of towards the bottom of the board and go up one of those lanes and try to take Kylo off to the side. Similar to how Gary flew Soontir.
Yeah. Still learning with the aces, but I do like Kylo. He's lots of fun. But I always seem to fly my aces straight into battle and straight into harm's way. So yeah,
definitely.
But definitely playing against a real quality pilot there. So definitely put me through my paces in teaching me how to use a list and working on it from there. It is a little bit disappointing that I lost the bid by 1 point. I think it could have been a completely different game having given first player to Gary. But yeah, there's nothing else that I could have taken out from that list, unfortunately.
If he could have given first player to Gary, I think that would have changed a fair bit. Because you're going for 5 and 6, and then you don't have to worry about Redline in the first engagement, at least. Redline getting into lock you.
Yeah.
Which is always a hard thing.
I think what you did really well, Andy, was negating Gary from using the proton torps for like 6-7 turns of the game. I still like the strategy of bum rushing into range 1, trying to get rid of one of the ships early, and then just trying to get through that alpha strike in the first engagement and then turning around. But then you could also do what other Andy had said, and do like a 3-pronged approach. And so I was like, oh, come and get me. And then you sort of faint with the other two. But it's a bit risky where those SFs and FOs aren't fast enough and maneuverable enough to, chase. Things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But what a cracker of a list from Gary. Like, that's the first time that I've seen that flown, and that's pretty strong. And whatnot.
Well, I believe this is the list he's going to be taking to the New Zealand Nationals. So depending on how nice he is to us is when we're going to release this video. But no, good luck to him, and I hope he does really well and gives those New Zealanders a run for their money.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and peace out.
Get me my fish and porgs.